I've gotten several requests to show you how I make the raw sweet onion bread by Olivia Herzog. I'll also be showing you a really easy, quick snack that's super low calorie density that's going to really help you on your weight loss journey. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN and I follow a whole food, plant-based, no oil, gluten-free diet. So if that's something that interests you, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, which is every week. You can also follow me on Instagram at Chew on Vegan. Please check out the links below in the description box for my newsletter, my e-guide, my Facebook group, and my brand new online course that I'm really excited about. So as I stated, I have gotten several requests to show you how to make this raw sweet onion bread. Like I said, it's not my recipe, it's Olivia Herzog, and I found her on Instagram and I showed you her wrap, her raw wrap, and I had featured this onion, the sweet onion bread, in a few videos back. It's really good. It is so fresh and it just makes you feel so good when you eat it. It's not heavy, it's low calorie density, it's full of fiber and nutrients. So let me show you how I make it. Let's get started. Get a large bowl and we're going to do 2 cups of ground flaxseed and 2 cups of almond flour. Then you want to add some spices. I've got some garlic powder, onion powder, and a little salt. You can pretty much season these however you like, but I just like to keep it simple. Then we're just going to whisk all these together. Now we're going to set this aside. In my Vitamix, I have 1 sweet onion. Make sure you get a sweet onion, because after all, this is sweet onion bread. And then I have a 1/2 cup of orange bell pepper. Now we will blend it up. So about like that. Then grab your dry ingredients here, and then we're going to put the wet into the dry. And you're going to have some under the lid here, so you want to get that out as well. You want to try to get as much as you can out of here, on the sides, everything. Okay. Now we're going to mix it all together. So that looks pretty good. Then I have my dehydrator tray. Just going to put a little parchment paper on there. And we're just going to plop this whole thing onto the parchment paper. Then you want to wet your hands a little bit and you just start pressing it out. And you just want to get it into a square. You want it no thinner than 1/4 of an inch. I like mine a little bit thicker because it will shrink up in the dehydrator. And I do have my dehydrator preheating right now. You want it 115 to 118 degrees. Okay, so here we go. I like to make it a little thicker on the outside because it does dehydrate from the outside in. And I'm still working on my technique, so don't be discouraged. Do the best you can. You might have some areas that are a little thicker than others. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to pop this in my dehydrator for 4 hours. Then we're going to flip it, score it, and then dehydrate it for another 4 hours. And then it's ready to make sandwiches. Okay, it's been 4 hours. We're going to flip this over. So I take another tray, and then we just flip it. Peel this off. And then using a pizza cutter, I just make my slices. So I'm just going to score it. So I usually just go down the middle and then middle again. this and like this. And you can make these whatever size you would like. I'm just, this is the size I like, so. But if you wanted to make them larger or smaller, totally up to you. All right, these are gonna go back in directly on the rack for another 4 hours. And then we'll make a sandwich. So here's our finished bread. Okay, now we're gonna build our sandwich. This is what I'm gonna put on my sandwich here. I've got some guacamole, which, let me tell you about this hack. Trader Joe's has this guacamole. I could not find a ripe avocado to save my life. They're just all hard as a rock. And these ingredients are pretty clean. It's avocado, vinegar, water, jalapenos, salt, onion, garlic. So pretty clean ingredients and really good. And you get 6 in these, 6 in here, 6 2-ounce little packages. So if you can't find avocados that are ripe and you need an avocado for whatever reason, this is a great little hack. They also have one that has 2 larger size. So if you're having like a party or something. Anyway, so that's what I'm using today. Please don't judge me. So we're going to start with some of this, and I'm not going to use it all, but I'm going to be pretty generous with it. And it's a little spicy, I have to admit, but oh, so good. I got a big chunk there. All right. Then I just start piling on the veggies. So what I have is some shredded carrots. I have red cabbage, thinly sliced bell pepper, thinly sliced cherry tomatoes, some olives, which takes it out of the raw because these have been processed and cooked, but they're a nice addition. But if you want to keep it totally raw, leave those out. Onion, and then some microgreens. These are just so good for you, so many health benefits. So I'm just going to start adding these on, and I do it different every time. And this is a sweet onion. You could use red onion, white onion, whatever's your fancy. And the tomato. And this bread is really sturdy and it won't get all mushy. So I make it for my lunch and it stays good. So a little red cabbage. Whatever you want. If you want to put cucumber on here, that's would be perfect too. So whatever are your favorites. And it gets a little big, but that's okay. It's delicious. And then a little bit of carrot on top. And then my microgreens. And then I will put just a little bit more of the guacamole on this side. Just a thin layer to kind of keep it all together in the sandwich. So I used almost all of that 2 ounces, but not quite. So if you're worried about it's high fat, don't worry about it. This is such a great sandwich. So yeah, I have like this much left. So then we put the top on, and I like to cut it in half. And there you have this beautiful raw, 99% raw, just have the olives, sandwich that's super filling, so good for you, lots of fiber. And then I'm going to show you what I like to eat along with this. What I like to eat with my sandwich is some lettuce chips. You may have seen these going around the internet, and I was skeptical, but they are delicious. So all you need is your favorite dressing, and I have my Dr. Goldner's Caesar dressing, some romaine lettuce, and I just take the center part here, the crispier part. It gets kind of softer at the end. And then you just dip this in the dressing and eat it. Now I know that sounds crazy, but this is such a perfect thing to have before dinner while you're cooking dinner if you're really hungry, or give it to your kids for a snack. But it's so good and so satisfying with the crunch from the lettuce, and you're dipping it in the dressing. It's perfect. I mean, sometimes I just do this when I'm watching TV instead of going for popcorn or something, which I rarely eat, but this is very satisfying. So instead of potato chips, I'm doing lettuce chips. So let's give this all a taste. Finished product here. I've got my sandwich, I've got my Caesar dressing, and my lettuce chips, which I know sounds absolutely bizarro, but they're so good. Can you hear that crunch? And talk about low calorie density. Hello, this is where it's at. Let's try this sandwich. Give you a close-up view there. It's really, I know raw bread sounds weird if you've never tried it, but it's so good. I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about, can I make it in the oven? Yes, you can. Now I know for my oven, 170 is as low as it goes. So it's not going to be a raw bread anymore. For something to be raw, it can't be cooked over, I think it's 118 degrees, 115 to 118 degrees, because you want to keep all the nutrients alive. Cooking can destroy some of that. Anyway, it still will be delicious. So yes, you can make it in your oven, but it will not be considered raw. It'll just be a nice gluten-free bread. Now, as far as how long to cook it, I don't know. You're going to just have to experiment. Maybe 3 hours, flip it, score it, another 3 hours. I'm just guessing. Anyway, onto my sandwich. Oh, it's a little messy. I really cannot describe to you how delicious this is and how incredibly fresh and healthy it is. Just the taste, it's just bursting with flavor with all of these veggies and the avocado. It's unbelievable. You will get hooked on this stuff. And it's really easy to make. And if you're like me and you have celiac, this is just such a great way to have your bread. And it is low calorie density. So it's going to be a lot lower in calories than your regular bread, even gluten-free bread. There's no oil, minimal ingredients, so I highly suggest that you give it a try. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, if you learned something, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with lettuce chips, and I really hope you try them. I really appreciate all your comments, your suggestions, watching my videos, and sharing them. It means the world to me. And I'm so close to 25,000 subscribers. I would love for you to help me get there. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please check out the links below for my e-guide, my newsletter, my Facebook group, and my brand new online course that I'm really excited to share with you. Remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate and your weight. Until next time, thank you. Get it together. All right, finished product here. You're killing me. So if you made it this far in the video, nope,